Pitch lifted deep to center field. That ball is carried. It could go, and it is out of here. Home run, Kyle Neary.
Coming home. The pitch is
Oh,
low
what
in
a
the
pitch
dirt.
come on the wall!
Goal!
Are you kidding me? And it is.
They're going to send a runner.
Here comes the runner. Oh, they're going to get him on a double play. Beautiful job.
And that one is skied. Deep. Gone. The Spartans have their blue and white pants today.
Evan Brown, one of the top infielders in South Jersey, and a good start there for Logic.
Strikeout swinging as Logic picks up his first K. And Holy Spirit.
Can't start much better than that.
No, and, one of his issues has been he throws hard. Can he throw strikes? And so far, so good. Here's Jason Scully, the left-handed swinger, the catcher. He's one of the top catchers and hitters in the area. Up and in, ball one. A brisk afternoon here in Linwood.
Not too bad, though. I thought it could have been.
Catchers and hitters in the area. Up and in, ball one. A brisk afternoon here in Linwood.
Not too bad, though. I thought it could have been worse.
Up and in. When the wind dies down, it's not so bad. It's when that wind gets a little velocity.
I was over at Chelsea Heights yesterday for Pleasantville, Atlantic City. Talk about wind, so this is nothing.
Logic's pitch. Outside. Logic kicks, delivers. And that is low.
Cherokee's had some success on this Mainland field. Remember them coming down last year and beating Mainland 4-1 in the Diamond Classic quarterfinals. So they've had some good feelings out here.
Ball four as Schooley works a walk. And he has a one-out base runner. And here comes Don Patrizzi, the shortstop.
Patrizzi hit a home run yesterday against Seneca, so he's off to a good start.
And Logic working from the stretch now. Tyler Gross is his battery mate. And Patrizzi steps in. From the stretch. The kick. And Logic's pitch is fouled. Down towards New Road in Linwood.
Always amazed that more cars don't get hit out there.
You're right.
And,
the amount of cars that come riding by here, that it's like Frogger sometimes when that ball comes bouncing down New Road. Logic from the stretch, and that one dances in the zone. Bill Fishman behind the plate. 0-2 to Don Patrizzi. Schooley leads off at first. The stretch from Logic. And another off-speed pitch, and he got him swinging, and the second strikeout of the inning for Jake Logic.
Great 0-2 pitch there. Was out of the strike zone, got him to chase a little bit. Good job by the freshman there. 2 strikeouts in his first 3 batters. He's got to get past Cheeseman here, though.
Cheeseman is a left-handed swinger, the third baseman, and he had a bomb in the game last year in Summers Point against Mainland.
Right.
That was a ball that got ripped into the night. Cheeseman, first pitch outside from Logic.
I mean, Cherokee's a top program. In our Press Elite 11, we have Holy Spirit number 11. Cherokee is right there on the fringes of it. Any of these Group 4 schools, Cherokee, Shawnee, Clearview, anytime they take the field, Egg Harbor Township, they can beat anybody.
Logic's pitch just missed outside, ball 2. Last night there was that spot on the outside part of the plate for Mainland and Clearview that the umpire was consistent, just kept giving it to him, and those pitchers, give them credit, they were going after it. Logic's pitch swung on, and he swings through a fastball from Jake Logic, who's trying to get out of the inning, leaving a runner on base. Schooley's at first, Cheeseman at the plate. 2 away here in the first. Gavin Cohen shades up the middle at short. He goes. Gross's throw is too short into the outfield, so a stolen base by Jason Schooley, and a runner in scoring position with 2 outs and Cheeseman up.
You got to be careful here. Base hit gets a run right here, especially with 2 outs. The runner will be off with the contact, so got to be careful here against Cheeseman if you're Logic.
Senior, 6'1", 200 pounds. This guy was made to play baseball, and he can do it well. See if he can get himself an RBI in the early going. Logic from the stretch. He delivers outside, and Cheeseman takes a walk. So Cheeseman's aboard, first and second, 2 down, and Brandon Petrick, the Chiefs' right fielder, has an opportunity here.
Yeah, that's the thing about high school baseball, right? You have the senior, 6'1", 205 against Logic, who's probably 14, 15 years old. That's, the age differences you see in high school baseball a lot of times.
Yeah, Logic's a 15-year-old. And he's in a big spot. This is a very young Holy Spirit team.
Right, very young.
They're
very
starting
young.
a freshman at short, a freshman in right.
Defending state non-public A champions, but really you got Ryan Spina back at third base and Trevor Cohen back at center field. Van Patten, one of their top pitchers, back too. But other than that, a lot of new faces for Spirit this season.
First pitch downstairs, a ball. And that pitch is way outside.
That's why you got to give the Spartans some credit with the young team for challenging themselves, coming here to this event and playing a program like Cherokee, that has a lot of seniors on the team. It would have been easy for Spirit to say maybe not this year. We'll see you next year or something. But they're right here back again.
They beat Middle Township yesterday.
And a hectic start because then with the Cape Atlantic League Series schedule, they've got Cedar Creek on Monday and Tuesday. So four games in the first 5 days of the season. That'll test your pitching.
No doubt. And this new thing they're doing, it's you have to play the same team twice.
Right,
I guess they want to try to avoid teams holding pitchers for certain teams.
Right. They don't want to. Some teams always see the number one pitcher. So when you play series back-to-back, you kind of avoid that.
And that one gets away from Gross. Moving to third. The runners both advance. So Schooley over to third. Cheeseman moves up to second. And we've got runners at second and third. 2 outs here in the first as Logic trying to wiggle his way out.
Some moments define a pitcher's outing, and this is one of them right here. Second and third, 2 outs. This can determine what kind of day you're going to have.
And that ball is hit into center field. And Cohen easily comes up on it, makes the catch. And the Spartans get out of the inning. The Chiefs leave 2 on base. We head to the bottom of the second. It's 0-0. Holy Spirit coming to bat.
We live in a community that cares. We make sure everyone eats, everyone plays, everyone stays warm, and everyone is protected. We support our youth in organizations that teach the value of community and self-worth. We make strides against breast cancer every day. Together, in this community, we make a difference. RK Chevrolet, RK Kia, and RK Subaru. Proudly serving our community since 1982.
All right, bottom first here at Mainland for the Coaches versus Cancer Classic. Holy Spirit's first licks, they're going to go with Cohen, and Spina. Leading things off here, Blake Weinstein, the left-handed pitcher for Cherokee. And the first pitch by Gavin Cohen is swung through and missed. Gavin is a freshman. He is Trevor's brother, Brigantine native. That pitch is outside.
And Blake for Cherokee on the mound. Weinstein, not many appearances last season, taking on a bigger role on the pitching staff this year, starting game number 2.
Swing and a miss for Cohen. He's behind in the count 1-2. Very aggressive for the freshman. Playing shortstop as a freshman, not easy at the varsity level.
No, not at all. That's one of the main positions, that and center field, and the Cohen's got that sort of handled for Spirit.
And Cohen swings through the Weinstein offering and misses, and he goes down on strikes. Trevor Cohen, his brother, he, of course, the quarterback of the football team. He's going to Rutgers to play baseball. He's got center field. I asked him today, you pitching today? And he laughed. No, not today. I said, are you retired from that? Well, I think they kind of need me.
Yeah. And yesterday he got off to just a great start. He was 3 for 3, 2 doubles and a home run that was apparently a bomb against Middle Township, and made a great catch in center field too. So, he's off to a great start this season.
Inside.
What I like about Trevor, Mike, is you mentioned he's a quarterback of the Holy Spirit team. About midway through the season, Spirit made a change at quarterback. Trevor didn't complain. He went right to running back, had some really great games at running back, helped him to a big playoff win over Hudson Catholic up in Jersey City. Really an outstanding individual, who thinks of the team more than himself.
Cohen, a left-handed swinger. Here's the pitch from the lefty Weinstein down in the dirt.
I like Weinstein's pace here. He doesn't mess around. Gets the ball and throws it. That's when you got Final Four games starting at 6 o'clock. This is what you want to see right now.
And that one is inside for a called strike 3, and Cohen goes down looking. So the first 2 hitters in the Spartan lineup, both Cohens, both go down on strikes, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Ryan Spina.
It's a guy who had a lot of big hits for Spirit last year on their way to that state non-public beat title. One of the top returnees for the team.
His brother Pat Spina was a pitcher. I asked Spina last night. I saw him. I said, "Are you still pitching?" He's big smile. No, I'm not. So many of these guys pitch when they're younger. It just shows you how hard it is to pitch at this level, where you just kind of get phased out of pitching.
Spirit's got a lot of young arms. He pitched a couple freshmen yesterday. Of course, Van Patten is their number 1 guy. He's going to throw Monday against Cedar Creek.
Van Patten, as a 12-year-old, made our 13-year-old team that went to the World Series. And he came out and tried out as a 12, and all he did was throw strikes.
Yeah.
I said, how can I not keep a kid who doesn't do anything but throw strikes?
Last year, he's going to be the number 1 starter. This year, last year, he was more of their closer. I think he closed 4 of their 5 state tournament games, so he's kind of a bullpen guy. Last season, this year, he's taken up back on that number one role. He had a great, it's hard with the 2020 season being canceled. I think he had a great year in 2019 as probably as a freshman back then.
Weinstein delivers. That ball's fouled into the top of the cage. Nothing here in the first. Holy Spirit and Cherokee. This is Ryan Spina. Weinstein's pitch. Up and in. Got him bailing out of the zone.
That'll wake you up.
2-2. Tyler Gross waits on deck as that one is lifted down to right field. And casually coming up on it is Petrick, and he makes the catch. 1-2-3 go the Spartans in the first. We head to the top of the second. It's 0-0 here on BFA Sports.
I'm Dr. Trina Lisko, a provider here at Premier Orthopedic Associates. I love that we get to watch these athletes play again. There is nothing better than being able to participate in an activity that you love. However, I know that COVID has us all a little less active than we would like, especially if weather conditions don't allow us to get outside and we've been restricted from the gym. Now is the time to consider some cross-training. Consider body-weighted activities, which are my favorite. Do timed interval repetitions with a little rest in between to help keep your heart rate up and activate your cardiovascular system. We can all stay healthy and active during this time. Remember to start slow and work technique before progressing to higher repetitions. Slow and steady will do the job.
Top two here, Coaches versus Cancer. Mike McGarry. You can check out the piece on this story in the Press of Atlantic City, pressofac.com. That ball is hit towards left field. And under it, Ryan makes the catch.
Hey, that's a pitcher's best friend, right? One pitch, one out. You can't ask for anything more than that. We'll see how Logic does here against the bottom of the order. Got through a little bit of a jam in the top half of the first. Let's see what he does here, but that's a good start.
And Rymus, the left fielder for Holy Spirit, under that one for the first out of the inning to Brandon Prince, and that'll bring up Christian Park. Park, the first baseman. Right-handed swinger, facing Logic. Swung on towards third, off of Spina's glove into left field. It's a base hit, and our first base hit of the day. Christian Park's a one-out runner.
Yeah, hard hit ball. Would have been a nice play if the Spirit infield had come up with it, but hard hit ball right there. Took a hop over the glove and in the left field there. So runner on first with one out, no score. Top of the second.
There's Lataris, the DH. Logic quickly throws over.
You a fan of the throw over? What's your theory on the throw over?
It depends on the situation. I've heard somebody throw this rule my way. McGarry, what do you think of this? That in major leagues, they should only give you one throw over a batter.
I'm for that. I'd make it two. I think it would add a lot of excitement in the game. Imagine you're sitting there at Citizens Bank Park, 8th inning. You got a speeder on first base. Those two throws are used up. and might bring the stolen base back into the game a little bit too as a weapon, especially late in the game.
It's
so
definitely
I'd be a fan of that.
One of the rules that it's everybody's trying to fix baseball. It's definitely a rule that I think that would add strategy to the game
and some excitement too, because now everybody in the stands would be anticipating, hey, is this guy going to go? You use your two throws. What's his lead like? I think that's a no-brainer for baseball.
Now, to answer your question on a bigger level, I do not like the throw over with 2 outs and a lead.
Right.
You have a lead, you have 2 outs, go get the hitter. A lot of these young guys, they get so skittish because there's a runner on first. And it's like, you have a lead, work on,
Right, just focus on the guy at the plate.
Back towards the middle, Cohen steps on the bag at second, throws to first. Ooh, and a double play.
Great play.
Cohen, a slow roller, back through the middle, steps on the base and almost rolls it to first base.
Got it.
And somehow got it over there with enough velocity to get the out. So a 6 unassisted 3 double play as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Nothing's our score here on BFA Sports. Back here in the third, bottom two, Tyler Gross. Spartans catcher leads things off.
Great double play to end the last inning. Athletic play by the shortstop there, Gavin Cohen for Holy Spirit. And again, we talked about Logic, the pitcher in that second inning, getting a break with the first pitch fly out, and then he gets a double play to end the inning. So, so far things breaking the freshman's way.
Trevor Smith, the first baseman, steps in.
On the flip side here, Holy Spirit being aggressive at the plate. Weinstein not throwing a lot of pitches here. Holy Spirit guys coming up swinging at the first pitch here. So far it's so good for Weinstein right here. He hasn't had to do a lot of work so far to get the first 4 outs.
So now that my pen thing has become a thing when fans are walking up offering me pens. And the gentleman just walked up offering me this very pen. I'm just letting you know.
And people offer you pens. People offer me Diet Cokes everywhere I go. Even though I am cutting down out there to the wide audience.
You got to go Coke Zero.
Oh,
the Coke Zero is so much better.
I've cut down since October, so in case you wondered why Diet Coke stock has fallen, that's why.
The 0-2 to Smith. Popped down the right field line out of play. Trevor Smith, Summers Point at Holy Spirit. Smith on the 0-2. Swung on and missed, and he struck him out. So Weinstein gets another K, his third of the afternoon.
Yeah, 3 Ks in the first 5 batters, 5 in a row. He's throwing a lot of strikes, so I can see Holy Spirit's approach. If the ball's over the plate, don't want to put yourself in a hole 0-1, 0-2. You got to go after it.
Well, there's 0-1 right there.
Right.
Torrance Cooper, senior. And he's working quick.
Yeah,
another
he's working
strike.
quick, throwing strikes. That's our favorite type of pitcher, right?
He's right back up, swinging again. Delivering again, I should say. That one's a little up. Cooper, the DH today, and the lefty up and away, 2-2. Weinstein already set, ready to deliver. Swung on and missed, and he struck out Cooper, his 4th strikeout of the afternoon, and that's how we end the bottom of the second. We head to the third. Nothing's our score on BFA Sports.
It's a perfect day for baseball and the perfect time to call our friends at Perfect Turf to get your yard in championship season form. That's right, Josh Walters and his team, the official landscapers of BFA Sports, are waiting for your call to tell you all about their spring mulch specials. So don't run out, grab those bags, grab the phone, call Josh and his team. They'll swing for the fences and make your yard look like the MVP.
All right, welcome back here, bottom 3. Top 3 as Cherokee come to bat. Here in the third, Mike Gill, Mike McGarry from the Press of Atlantic City, bringing you the action here on BFA Sports on the live stream. Tell your friends, we'll be here all weekend long. Good schedule today. We're going to see some good pitching in the third game today.
Great event. Bishop Eustace and Jackson Memorial. People in South Jersey might not be familiar with Jackson Memorial. They're in Ocean County Power. We have them ranked in our Elite 11. That's a great game. Ocean City against Springford, PA, coming up after that. Ocean City defending state Group 3 champions. So great action today, and then tomorrow gets even better with the annual Gloucester Catholic St. Augustine game at 2 o'clock on Sunday of this coaches versus Kansas. That's kind of like the Pleasantville Atlantic City is to the Battle by the Bay, what Gloucester Catholic St. Augustine is to this event.
Logic delivers.
St. Augustine and Gloucester Catholic 1 and 2 in our Elite 11 and considered two of the top teams in the state. So that's a great matchup tomorrow at 2 o'clock here.
Swung on towards third. Spina eats it up on the grass. Across the diamond. Over to Smith. And the out is recorded of Dylan Cruz. One away here to start off the third. So Logic kind of settling himself in. And we go back to the top of the order. And Evan Brown.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Logic, the job he's done. You know, he had that kind of jam in the first inning, second and third, 2 outs. He got out of it. Great double play to end the second inning. Gets a quick out right here.
Swing and a miss from Brown, who struck out his first time up. Schooley on deck. They had a little bit of a possibility to score in the first. They had 2 on, but Logic wiggled his way out of a jam. That one's way off the mark.
This kid, Evan Brown, committed to Navy for baseball, Mike, but he's one of the top wrestlers in South Jersey, too. In the state, finished 8th at 157 pounds this past March. Last year, he had to make a choice because last year, because of the pandemic, the baseball season and the wrestling season overlapped a little bit. So he had to choose between wrestling and baseball, chose baseball. This year, we're back to normal. He's able to wrestle, finished 8th in the state at 157 pounds. So great athlete. And like I said, committed to Navy for baseball, one of the top infielders in South Jersey. So
what a great campus.
Yeah.
I went to a Navy football game this year. I loved it.
Anytime you go to one of those places, Navy, West Point,
yeah.
Just tremendous setting, tremendous tradition when you're out there. Second time through the order now. Let's see how Logic does against the Cherokee hitters second time through, now that they've seen him once.
That pitch is down and in, full count. To the leadoff man, Evan Brown. Second base. And Logic kicks, delivers, swung, base hit, ripped through the hole on the left side of the infield. And he is a 1-out base runner for Jason Schooley.
Yeah, like I said, second time through the order. Cherokee has seen Logic, one time through. Let's see how the freshman does second time through the order here.
Schooley walked in the first, and the left-handed swinger has another opportunity here in inning number 3. There goes the runner. Brown towards second. Gross's throw was off the mark, and easily Evan Brown swipes the base, and a runner's now in scoring position with 1 out here in the third.
Yeah, Brown got a great jump. I think even if a throw right on the bag wouldn't have got him, he had a great jump on that play. Obviously, catcher going out, runner on second base. You want to make sure the signs are maybe change up the signs a little bit with a runner on second base. Make sure you're on the same page as your pitcher.
Yeah, and Mike, as you mentioned, the league play starts Monday, so these teams are busy in the early part of the season.
Yeah, 4 games in the first 5 days for Holy Spirit, so, and a lot of other teams in the Cape Atlantic League. That's the thing about the spring season. It's short and it's hectic and it goes by in a hurry.
Grounded to first. Smith over top, steps on the bag. Runner advances. Brown over to third, 2 away. And that'll bring up Don Patrici.
Yeah, spring season short and it's hectic, and it always seems to slow to a crawl in about mid-April, 3 or 4 days in a row of rain. You know, you got spring break. Some teams disappear during spring break or something, but it's action-packed.
A lot of these teams, too, like Mainland was down in Florida for
a lot
what
of
seemed like a
preseason.
month.
You know, a lot of teams like to go to Florida or South Carolina or North Carolina in the preseason because they can get in as many scrimmages as as they want. Basically, they're not held to kind of the regular season rules of high school baseball. So you can go down there and get a couple scrimmages in. And the other teams are already playing. A lot of times a team from New Jersey go down there, they'll consider that game a scrimmage. You're playing a team from Florida. It'll be a regular season game for them.
Right, so you're getting live, real games.
Right, they're actual games.
That don't count against your record.
Right, exactly.
Patrizi, the shortstop. Logic throws, and it's down in the dirt. Good block by Gross. Got a runner on third with 2 outs here. Cheeseman on deck. I would imagine Logic does not want to see Cheeseman. That ball swung on and missed. Big hack there by Patrizi.
I mean, this is, Patrizi's a 3-hitter. Cheeseman's a 4-hitter. I don't think you want to see either one of them. Patrizi with the home run yesterday. So this is another big spot for Logic right here.
2-1. Logic. Swung on towards third.
Great play.
Spina gloves it over to first. High throw. Smith brings it down. Foot on the bag, and the Spartans get out of the inning as Spina, take a look at the glove work here by Ryan Spina as he eats that up, composes himself. A little high, but Smith comes down, and that's how we end the top of the third. Heading to the bottom half of the third, 0-0 here on BFA Sports.
We live in a community that cares. We make sure everyone eats, everyone plays, everyone stays warm, and everyone is protected. We support our youth in organizations that teach the value of community and self-worth. We make strides against breast cancer every day. Together, in this community, we make a difference. RK Chevrolet, RK Kia, and RK Subaru, proudly serving our community since 1982.
Bottom 3, Nick Rimus, the left fielder for Holy Spirit. The left-hander, the leadoff man here in the bottom of the third inning. Mike Gill and Mike McGarry bringing you here on BFA Sports on the live stream YouTube channel. You can watch us in a variety of ways. If you have the YouTube app on your television, your phone, you can stream it from your phone to your TV. If you have a smart TV, just click on YouTube, and you can put that right on your screen as Rimus grounds to first. It's a whole new world we're living in, Mike.
Exactly. Whole new complicated world. I like the smart TVs, though. I like just going and click the YouTube button over there and
I was watching the AC
over.
Bridgeton game this morning on my living room television. It's great. A little up on Bernie Hargadon, the right fielder, a Ventnor resident. He was my right fielder for our World Series championship team. No, he hit third in my lineup. He's hitting eighth. It's nice to see, though. 14-year-old. He's a 14-year-old freshman starting varsity here.
Yeah, like you said, Spirit's got an awful lot of young players out there, and so far we've seen a couple of them. We've seen the pitcher Logic play great. The shortstops Cohen's made a great play. So, maybe you get Holy Spirit now before they get a little older.
As Hargadon skies one in the infield, and Park makes the grab, and there's 2 away.
So Weinstein just doing a tremendous job of throwing strikes here, working at a very quick pace. You got to like it. He's a guy, if you're a Cherokee fielder right now and it's a little bit of a chilly day, you got to love seeing the pace that he's working at right now. Keeps you on your toes, ready to go. Nothing worse than a pitcher who's slow.
Connor Lamantier, second baseman, the 9-hole hitter. And he skies one high. The second, Brown under it, and that'll do it here in the third. 3 quick ups, 3 quick outs for Weinstein as we head to the top of the fourth. Cherokee nothing, Holy Spirit nothing, BFA Sports.
We live in a community that cares. We make sure everyone eats, everyone plays, everyone stays warm, and everyone is protected. We support our youth in organizations that teach the value of community and self-worth. We make strides against breast cancer every day. Together, in this community, we make a difference. RK Chevrolet, RK Kia, and RK Subaru, proudly serving our community since 1982.
Top four, 4-5-6 for Cherokee. Nothing ball game here, Mike, as both pitchers are kind of controlling the action.
Yeah, and the Logic, the freshman for Holy Spirit, getting a big assist from the defense. Cohen with that great double play to end the second inning, and Spina, the third baseman, makes a nice play on a hot hit grounder to third base to end the last inning. So a lot of good glove work for Spirit right now.
Swing and a miss from Cheeseman as Logic is into his fourth inning of work.
See, in any game, it's obviously important to get ahead early, but right now, 3 innings scoreless. You know, whoever breaks through here and scores first, you know, is going to have a big advantage.
Spartans have yet to get a base runner.
Yeah, it's 9 up and 9 down for Cherokee and Blake Weinstein so far. Impressive performance by him.
Cherokee has had 4 base runners. None have come home yet. Upstairs, up and in on Cheeseman.
You want to throw strikes here. You want to make Cheeseman hit the ball. If he hits a home run, it's 1-0, but you don't want to walk him. You want to make him hit the ball just like that.
Skied high in the infield, Spina circles it, makes the catch. One away. Jeremy Cheeseman is the first out recorded.
I'm sure, you coach a team, Mike. I'm sure baseball at this level, high school baseball, it's about making the basic plays. It's about not walking guys to lead off innings. It's about making outs, not giving teams extra outs, basically making the basic plays in the field. You don't want to walk a guy. As dangerous a hitter as Cheeseman is, you didn't want to walk him there. Make him hit the ball.
Petrick fouls one off right, especially, how many guys at the high school level? Some can drive it out of here.
Right.
But
and
there's only
Cheeseman's
a
one
few
of those,
guys
but
that
there's
can-
only a
right.
few. Right. And if he does drive one out of there, it's 1-0. So, you don't want to walk a guy and start a potential big inning, walk the leadoff hitter,
Pitch is inside. Logic's pitch, driven towards right and out of play. That takes a bounce. See, right over the car.
There you go. It's amazing. I've been here for countless games, and it's amazing how I've seen him drop right in between cars, bounce over the car. It's unbelievable. That's always the first thing I look when I pull up to the field. I always look at it. Is my car going to get hit by a foul ball? That's the first thing. That's the first rule of covering high school baseball. Park where your car is not going to get hit. Even if you have to walk a little distance, that's fine.
I had bought a brand new car. That ball's up and away. And I pulled up. We had practice. And Jack Lufflad, who was catcher for Mainland.
Right, I remember him.
Played at
Right.
University of Tampa.
Correct.
Hit a foul ball, went right through my windshield.
Yeah.
I no longer park in the parking lot.
Right.
Fouled out of play. Speaking of a foul ball.
Yep.
3-2. Brandon Petrick, the right fielder.
Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, sometimes you pull up a field and say, why am I getting this spot so close to the field? There's a reason why it's open, okay?
Hit towards first, past the diving Smith into right field, and a base hit. A one-out base runner for Cherokee, and they have had a couple of guys on, and here comes Brandon Prince, the center fielder. He flew out to right field his first time up. So 1 on, 1 out here in the fourth. Logic kicks and delivers, shows bunt. Ball gets past Gross. The runner advances. So is that bunt still going to be on?
In high school baseball, you might see it still on. You know, that's one of the differences we talked about, the throwing over to first base, the rule changes that you might see in Major League Baseball. You don't see many bunts in Major League Baseball. You don't see many hit and runs. You don't see many stolen bases. But if you like that type of baseball, get out to your local high school baseball field because that's the way high school baseball is played.
I tell you, we talk Phillies all the time. I could sit here and watch all 4 of these games today. I struggle to get through a Phillies game.
Right. I mean, if you like, a lot of the complaints that people have about the major leagues, baseball is not played the way it was played when they grew up. If you come to a high school game, you see that. A lot of teams love to bunt, put pressure on the opposing defense, make the opposing defense make plays.
Pitch from Logic off speed. 1-1. That one's over for a called strike.
You got to like Logic's composure so far. He's pitched with some traffic on, and it hasn't rattled him so far. He's kept his poise out there.
Another off-speed pitch is low. Nothing's our score here in the fourth. Cherokee with a runner in scoring position with with 1 out here. And the hitter is Prince.
It's a big pitch coming up right here.
2-2. Inside. And the count is now full.
At 3 balls, 2 strikes here. You don't want to walk this guy and have first and second. You got to throw a strike. Trust your defense.
Defense has been pretty solid for the Spartans today. That ball is sky high into center. Short. Cohen comes up, makes the grab as he comes running into the infield.
That's a great play by Cohen there. Trevor Cohen in center field taking charge. He's the senior. We talked about how young Spirit is. He's the senior. He's the guy going to Rutgers. That ball's up in the air. He did what a center fielder's supposed to do. He called everybody off and caught the ball. That's old-time baseball. When the center fielder can catch it, you catch it. Everybody else get out of his way.
He might be number 8 in the scorebook, but he's number 1 in terms of if he can get it.
Right, yeah.
Kelly Lee. Off-speed pitch to Christian Park, who singled back in the second. Yeah, Cohen just came running full speed, and right off the bat, he told the infield, I got this one.
Right. And testament to his athletic ability. He's a fast kid. He went a long way to get that ball, too.
Up and in, ball 2.
And obviously a lot easier to catch the ball coming in on it than going back on it, especially in winding conditions.
Brother Gavin is at shortstop. He's a freshman. Trevor's a senior in center. So they've got 2 Cohens at the 2 most important spots in the field. I'm sure his mother is pacing around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Or their mothers, I should say. Their mother. Inside, and he works a walk. So 2 on now and 2 out.
No real harm there. You know, now you got first and second with 2 outs. You know, the number 8 hitter, number 9 hitter coming up. This is a spot. You know, again, how does the game turn? This is a key spot, obviously, right here. Can Logic get, the final out in the bottom part of the order, or can that bottom part of the order come through and get the big hit for Cherokee right now?
Here's Lataris. He grounded into that 6-3 double play to end the second inning his last time up. It was kind of a slow bouncer up the middle. Cohen shaded up the middle a bit at shortstop as time is called. There's a big hole on that left side of the infield. Spina kind of guarding the line at third. Logic gets the sign. The pitch. Up and in.
Yeah, Logic kind of, falling behind some hitters right now. It's tough to pitch from behind in the count. Eventually that is going to catch up with you.
Logic's pitch is low. Dylan Cruz, the 9-hitter, sits on deck. Cherokee with runners at first and second. 2 outs here in the fourth. Logic delivers inside. Ooh, that one. He called that a strike.
Yeah. 3-0 pitch, good take right there, especially when the pitcher's having a little trouble finding the plate. Obviously, you have to take there, definitely be swinging away here.
And Logic's pitch is fouled off the backstop.
We'll see if Logic can come all the way back here.
Logic certainly throws hard, especially for a 15-year-old freshman.
And again, I'm impressed with his poise. He's a freshman playing Cherokee, one of the top programs in South Jersey in the second game of the season.
And the off-speed pitch is skied high into the infield. And making the catch is Gross. And the Spartans wiggle their way out of a jam. They leave 2 stranded as we head to the bottom of the fourth. It's Cherokee nothing, Holy Spirit nothing on BFA Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Trina Lisko, a provider here at Premier Orthopedic Associates. I love that we get to watch these athletes play again. There is nothing better than being able to participate in an activity that you love. However, I know that COVID has us all a little less active than we would like, especially if weather conditions don't allow us to get outside and we've been restricted from the gym. Now is the time to consider some cross-training. Consider body-weighted activities, which are my favorite. Do timed interval repetitions with a little rest in between to help keep your heart rate up and activate your cardiovascular system. We can all stay healthy and active during this time. Remember to start slow and work technique before progressing to higher repetitions. Slow and steady will do the job.
Gavin Cohen, the leadoff man, starts things off here as it has been 9 up, 9 down for the Spartans so far.
We talked about Cherokee, Logic going through the Cherokee lineup for the second time. Now Weinstein's going to go through the Holy Spirit for the lineup for the second time. Let's see if it makes any difference here. He cruised through the first, and he's off to a pretty good start through the second time around.
Ground ball towards second base. Brown over to Park, and the first out is recorded.
10 in a row.
That was on the exchange, it looked like, on the throw there. Those of you watching the video, actually, Cohen is working his way over to first base. Let's take a look at the replay here, Mike.
The umpires are coming to talk, so.
It looked like they called him out, and the umpires are getting together. We'll see if we can run that back, and they're calling him safe.
Yeah.
It looked like it was on the exchange there.
It certainly was a routine ground ball to second base, so.
It was a slow grounder,
right,
though, which made Brown had to actually quicken his throw up a little bit. So that's the first base runner of the day for Holy Spirit. Guess you're giving him an error on that.
And now
That
he
one
hits
hit Cohen.
Cohen right there. So
Gavin Cohen moves up to second. Trevor Cohen is hit. So I guess we'll.
And now you got first and second with nobody out, and Ryan Spina, your number 3 hitter, coming to the plate, and one of the few veterans in the Spirit lineup coming to the plate who fly to right his first time up. So big spot here for the Spartans.
Weinstein's pitch. Outside.
It's funny, Mike, how quickly, baseball can turn. There's a slow ground ball to second base that everybody assumes is an out or going to be an out, and all of a sudden it's not, and then you hit a batter, and now you're first and second with nobody out.
And that one's inside, and now Cheeseman's going to come out and have a conversation. This is much like the Mainland game last night. Ethan Hahn was cruising. His first 8 outs of the game were strikeouts, and then Wagner hit that homer. It was 5-0. Wagner hit that homer, and all of a sudden it felt like Mainland was kind of back in the game.
Right.
And then, of course, Clearview took an 8-3 lead, and Mainland just kept battling.
Right.
But it was all, kind of innocent little stuff. Swing and a miss from Spina.
Yeah, Mainland was down in that game 5-0. Then they were down 8-3 going into the 6th, and they were down 8-5 going into the 7th. So, again, that's high school baseball. You're dealing with 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. Anything can happen.
Weinstein, the lefty. Ball is fouled off the backstop. Yeah, and, it's putting the ball in play. I mean, I think if you ask Clearview, there was a couple of balls that were hit that were somewhat routine that were misplayed in the outfield.
Well, and here, we talked about it before, putting pressure on opposing defenses. There are a lot of high school baseball coaches that even with their number 3 hitter up, first and second, nobody out, would be bunting right now. Obviously, Steve Normain of Holy Spirit trusts Spina, who got a lot of big hits for Holy Spirit last season on their way to a state title, and is one of the top hitters in the Cape Atlantic League to swing the bat in this situation. That's the right move by Normain, but there's a lot of coaches who would bunt here possibly.
The pitch. Spina swing and a miss. And he struck him out. Spina, the first out of the inning, goes down on strikes.
The other thing, it's a 4th inning right now, bottom of the 4th. It was the bottom of the 6th, maybe a different story there. But you got to give Spina a chance to swing the bat there. Give credit to Weinstein for coming back and making a good pitch and getting the strikeout.
That'll bring up Tyler Gross, the catcher. He's a left-handed swinger.
Lefty on lefty. You don't see this much in high school. These kids don't see this much growing up, right? Lefty on lefty.
Not often, right. Weinstein, who's been working at a rapid pace.
And he's continued that pace. A lot of times guys slow down when guys get on base, but not Weinstein. He's continuing to go at a quick pace.
Swung on and missed. Cohen at second. He reached via error, and his brother Trevor is over at first. He was hit by a pitch. Gross at the plate, the left-hander. Weinstein delivers. Swung on, back through the middle. Weinstein fields over to short for 1, over to first for 2, and it's a 1-6-3 double play as Cherokee gets out of it, and we head to the top of the 5th. Still no score here at the Coaches versus Cancer Classic.
It's a perfect day for baseball and the perfect time to call our friends at Perfect Turf to get your yard in championship season form. That's right, Josh Walters and his team, the official landscapers of BFA Sports, are waiting for your call to tell you all about their spring mulch specials. So don't run out, grab those bags, grab the phone, call Josh and his team. They'll swing for the fences and make your yard look like the MVP.
Top 5 here at the Coaches vs. Cancer Classic, 10th annual. It's actually the 11th year, but only the 10. They missed
2020, right?
Started in Millville, moved
Right.
to Mainland, and it has become the kickoff of the baseball season, much like everybody's trying to have these tournaments or something to kind of get these seasons going. It's been, high school sports, you've been covering them for like 50 years, but it's really evolved since you started, right?
Yeah, especially baseball. We had these kind of showcase events in basketball for a couple of years, and this is great as baseball because if you can come and see, 4 or 5 teams, that you want to see a lot of games in a row, especially early in the season. Get a handle on teams. You hear about kids in the preseason and stuff. This gives you a chance to watch them. Like you said, the next game, Bishop Eustis and Jackson Memorial, those 2 top teams in the state going to play. St. Augustine, Gloucester Catholic tomorrow. Millville, Lenape tomorrow. Hamilton, Highland tomorrow. Ocean City later today against Springford, PA. If you want to see, I think in our Elite 11 rankings, I think 6 of the 11 teams were in action this weekend at this event. So it gives you, you don't have to wait 2-3 weeks to see a team, which you used to have to do in the old days, basically.
Yeah, and Mike, in all the time covering, you probably could go through a couple of seasons without seeing a Division I baseball player.
Yeah, it's amazing the difference. I mentioned yesterday on the radio with you, from where high school baseball was, especially Cape Atlantic League in the early 90s compared to where it is now, it is night and day. It used to be a big deal when you saw a kid throw the ball 90 miles an hour. Now it seems every team's got a guy who throws the ball 90 miles an hour. And look at the guys that are just in the pros, the guys that have been drafted, the guys going to Division I schools. In the Cape Atlantic League, it's gone from being a little bit of an afterthought of the high school sports, or being afterthought's probably the wrong word. Being the sport that's ranked behind football, basketball, and baseball would be number 3 of the big 3. Now, out of those 3, talent-wise, baseball probably number 1 in the Cape Atlantic League. You're coming off a season where Spirit won a state title, Ocean City won a state title, St. Augustine won a South Jersey title. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Logic. Swing and a miss from Cruz, and he picks up another strikeout. Logic's 3rd strikeout. His first 2 outs of the game were strikeouts. That's his first strikeout since the first inning.
Right. And now Cherokee leadoff, Evan Brown comes up, leadoff hitter, faced Logic for the 3rd time. So we'll see how he does the 3rd time through. We know one thing, if Gabe Kapler was managing, he'd be walking to the mound right now and pulling Logic. But Steve Normaine's going to let him pitch, so we'll see what happens.
And that one's over for a call strike. Evan Brown struck out, walk, stolen base. Nothing's our score. Mike, I don't know if you remember, there's a kid from Lakewood named Billy Santa Maria.
Right.
I think that was the only kid in my entire high school career that I faced at Pop 90.
Right. And now it seems every team has 1, 2, Well, last year, what did Ocean City have? 4 Division I pitchers. They got 2 this year.
Yeah.
I mean, St. Augustine Prep brings Division I pitchers out of the woodwork, it seems.
They bring Division I players out.
Right.
What, they got 12 guys on the roster?
Yeah.
Going Division or somewhere. I don't know if all Division I, but they've got a plethora of guys who have already signed to go play at the college level.
Yeah, and yesterday Marco Lavari begins the season with a no-hitter against LaSalle. St. Augustine, number 1 in our Elite 11, opens the season with a 12-0 win. Lavari throws a 5-inning no-hitter. I believe he struck out a dozen guys.
2-1 from Logic. Outside, off the plate, 3-1.
Want to be careful here. Brown gets on base. He showed before he stole a base. He can make things happen. Great athlete. We mentioned committed to Navy for baseball. You'd like, obviously, to keep him off the base pads.
Ball's driven towards right, and a base hit. Hargadon comes up on it, gets it in quickly. And there's a 1-out base runner here in the 5th.
We'll see if Brown goes again. He stole the base back in the 3rd inning pretty handily, so or pretty easily. So we'll see if he's in motion again here. 0-0 game. I would bet he is. You got to get him in a scoring position. It's top of the 5th. You get a run here. There's only a couple more innings left, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was in motion.
Here's Scully. Over to first, keeping him honest. Brown is a stolen base back in the third. I actually said he struck out and walked. He actually singled back in the third. So he singled and stole a base. He has 2 hits on the day for Evan Brown. And here's Jason Schooley, who walked and grounded out. Showing bunt.
Yeah, fake a bunt there with 1 out. Again, if he gets it down, you put the pressure on the defense make a play. Brown's got good speed at first base. This situation where I like to throw over. I think you got to throw over once.
Oh, with the bunt, definitely.
You know, you got to throw over. Batter might give away what he's doing.
Well, he showed bunt there.
Right.
Schooley squares. Runner goes. Brown, the throw is off the mark, and Evan Brown has his second stolen base today, and he's in scoring position. 1 out here in the 5th. Runner at second. Schooley, the catcher, looking to bring home the first run of the afternoon. 0-0 here in the 5th. Don Patrizzi, the shortstop, waits on deck. You bunt him to third, Mike?
You know, with 1 out and
Two-hole
with
hitter?
Brown's speed, I might let him. I let him hit away here.
No action.
I'm not going to give up an out right now. He's on second base now. I let him hit away.
And that one is over. No action in the Spartan bullpen. They were the Seagulls yesterday. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that little April Fool's joke for.
Well, your buddy John Russo actually got me.
Yeah.
And that one's up and away. I saw he replied to the tweet, and I said,
Right.
I got to go and check to see if this is. Now, I didn't sleep much the night before, so the
Right.
whole April 1st
Yeah,
thing.
the joke was April 1st that Spirit, in honor of its 100th anniversary, was changing its nickname from the Spartans to the Seagulls.
And that ball's tattooed towards right field. Argonaut back. It's off the fence. Brown coming around third. The throw from Smith is off the mark, and the Cherokee Chiefs score first on an RBI double from Jason Schooley. And it is 1-0.
That's why you let him hit away there. Once Brown got to second base, you know, the job is done, and he's able to pull a pitch right to the base of the right field fence and get Evan Brown in and get a 1-0 lead right here. Now you got a runner at second with 1 out and Cherokee up 1-0. Important that Spirit sort of, bears down here and limits the damage here with hitters 3 and 4 coming up. A tough spot here for Spirit, good spot for Cherokee.
Patrizzi steps up with a runner in scoring position. That ball hit off the snow fence out in right field. Harganon fielded it and got it in quickly. But Brown was able to come around and score. Ball is down and in. And, Brown seemed to be tagging, so he got a late start.
Yeah, I don't think he got a good read on that ball, basically, because obviously the play at home looked a lot closer than it should have been. To me, and it's our vantage point here in center field, the ball was clearly over the right fielder's head, but Brown got off to a late start, maybe a bit of a bad read on his part, but he's shown his speed, and he was able to score easily, make it 1-0 Cherokee here in the top of the 5th.
Mike, this is where you'll see how a freshman reacts to giving up his first run.
Right.
Logic gets the sign. The pitch. Downstairs. Gross in front of it. Schooley doubles an RBI to give Cherokee a 1-0 lead here. Check out the Game Changer scoreboard at the top of our screen. 1-0. Cherokee on top. Nobody out here in the 5th.
1 out, right? 1 out.
1 out, you're right. Strikeout. And that one's upstairs, so a 4-pitch walk. So how did he respond with a 4-pitch walk? And now he's got a little bit of trouble here. First and second, I would imagine, right, you're going to see a
little conversation.
At the mound.
So far, though, Logic has done a great job. For a freshman to come in here to this environment, pitching against a team like Cherokee, he's done a great job. He's had traffic on the base paths. He's been able to get through some tough spots. So he's done a great job. Again, we talked about it before Brown came up. It's the 3rd time through the order, the 3rd time these Cherokee hitters are seeing him. And obviously, they've been able to put the ball in play against him the 3rd time through.
Here's another question for you, Mike. Do you remember as many young players, freshmen, playing right away? And why do you think that they are able to get right out there?
Well, I think that's, I see that in all sports, and I think it's the youth sports sort of culture that we have in. I bet you these kids are 14, 15 years old. They've played in travel tournaments since they were 6, 7 years old. They've played in different states. They've traveled up and down the East Coast. So they're kind of ready for this sort of atmosphere, basically.
I mean, Holy Spirit's got a freshman pitcher, a freshman in right, a freshman at short. You would probably not see 3 freshmen play an entire season.
No.
Now routinely.
See some talented kids, and again, I think it's due to these youth programs, these travel programs. Kids start playing at a high level when they're 6, 7, 8 years old.
Here's Cheeseman, the left-hander. And Logic steps off.
Cheeseman's walked and popped the third so far today, so Logic's done a good job against him. We'll see what happens here against the cleanup hitter.
Almost feels like he's due.
Yeah.
As he takes a big hack there. Spartans 1-0. They beat Middle Township yesterday. And they will open with Cedar Creek in their Cape Atlantic League schedule.
On Monday, part of the Cape Atlantic League's new back-to-back, they'll play Monday and Tuesday against Cedar Creek.
Downstairs. You like that scheduling?
I do. I think it gives you a true test of what baseball is. Baseball just isn't the ace pitcher going to the mound, right? Baseball is how deep your pitching staff is. I think the managers will make some adjustments, lineup adjustments from game to game. I think it brings some strategy in, some conversation, and gives a true assessment of just how deep a team is.
2-1 to Jeremy Cheeseman. 2 on, 1 out, 1 across in the 5th. Yeah, I agree. I like the series setup. Way outside.
And shows you what decisions teams have to make. Now, obviously, Spirit opens with a Cape Atlantic League game, but a non-division game yesterday. Now they've got a big non-league game here today, and they're saving their number 1 guy, Van Patten, for Monday, basically. So if let's say you didn't have a league game until Wednesday of this week coming up, you could have possibly thrown, Van Patten today in this game.
Cheeseman draws a walk, and that'll load the bases with just 1 out, and here's Petrick.
And he's put the ball in play. He's fly to center field and single to right. So, and it looks like we're going to get a pitching change here.
Taking the slow walk to the mound, and that will likely be the end of the day. Although Logic is backing up. I haven't seen anybody warming up in that bullpen over there, however. Oh, they're warming up in the visiting bullpen.
Right.
There you go.
Here he comes.
So we're going to have a pitching change here in Linwood with the bases loaded and 1 out. And Holy Spirit, Jake Logic.
I think it's going to be Lamontier coming in, number 4. I'm not 100% sure. My eyes aren't what they used to be.
Nor are mine. Lamontier.
Well, it looks like they're going to let Logic out there to face Petrick, so.
That would be Kyle Lamontier. His brother's playing second at number 23. So Logic will get the chance to try to get out of this thing. Brandon Petrick, the left-hander, he's singled and popped out the center. Spina's in on the grass at third, as is Smith at first. In fact, the whole infield is in right now. Cohen up on the grass. Lamontier. So the Spartan infield is in, playing for the out at home. 1 away here in the 5th. It's 1-0. Logic up and in.
Yeah, Logic having a little bit of trouble finding the plate right now. That happens. You get a little tired. You lose some command. Basically, command's always kind of the first thing to go when you get tired. But again, for a freshman to come in and do what he's done so far today, really a great job.
That one's over for a called strike.
So 3 balls and a strike now. We'll see what happens here. But either way, no matter what happens with this pitch, I think both Logic and Spirit have to be happy with his outing so far. 3-2 right there. So
the umpire dodged the bullet. That ball was fouled right up over his left shoulder. Fishman back there. So we got a full count, bases loaded, 1 out. This is a big pitch in this game, Mike.
Absolutely.
Gets an out, momentum could shift. Ball in play, we could see a bunch of runs. And that ball is laced down the first base side, foul. And it stays at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Runners weren't fully in motion. They're kind of walking in motion basically right there on the pitch.
You got to watch the line drive, 1 out.
Yeah.
Kevin Minnick, hello. Way behind and off the mark. So that brings home a run. I mean, it almost looked like that ball squirted out of his hand. So Cherokee gets their second run on a walk.
Now I think we'll get a pitching change.
And it looks like we'll see who will be the new pitcher for Holy Spirit. As Cherokee
again, great job by Logic right there as a freshman coming in. As leaves with the bases loaded, having given up a total of 2 runs. You know, he's responsible for the runners on base. 1 out here in the 5th inning. But for him to come in as a freshman and pitch as well as he did against a program like Cherokee, impressive start for him so far. We'll see if the Holy Spirit bullpen can come in and get out of this jam.
Kyle Lamentier is the new pitcher for Holy Spirit as the day is done for Jake Logic. And as you mentioned, Mike, a freshman, he came in a tough spot, and then he gave up that double, and after that, he couldn't settle back down.
Yeah, I think it's, in the 5th inning, he had thrown some pitches. He had pitched in some tough spots. I just think he got a little bit worn down and lost the plate a little bit. But for your first varsity start, a lot of positives to build on and a lot to be happy about going forward, basically. Leaves with the bases loaded here. What did he walk? I think, he walked.
He had 3 walks here in a row,
right.
But leading into this inning, he only had 3 walks.
Right. So he had 6 walks for total, 3 of them before this inning. Then he kind of lost the plate there. And we said third time through the order, maybe Gabe Kapler knows what he's talking about. I don't know.
Yeah, if this were Vince Velasquez, he would not have got the opportunity to start this inning. But Lamentier is going to be the new pitcher for Holy Spirit. They trail 2-0 here in the 5th inning. And when Holy Spirit comes to bat, they will send Smith, Cooper, and Rimus up. So this is a big spot here because they're at the bottom of their order.
Yeah, you want to stop it right here. It's 2-0. You don't want it to get any worse, obviously. I think Logic struck out 3, allowed 3 hits. So a good outing.
And for a freshman debut against, as you mentioned, Cherokee, it's not like he's facing Pleasantville or Bridgeton in his first game here.
Right.
He's facing one of the top teams in the area. This Cherokee program, always one of the better ones.
Yeah, I said it before. Teams like Cherokee, Shawnee, Clearview, EHT, these big Group 4 schools, Jackson Memorial, anytime they take a field, they can win a game. They're one of the elite, they're going to win 14, 15, 16 games, maybe more over the course of a season. Mentioned Cherokee went to the Diamond Classic semifinals last year. So, and a lot of people on that team are back this year.
Lamentier's pitch is hit into left center field. Cohen with a beat on it makes the catch. Tagging up from third is Patrizzi, and he'll score. But Cohen, with a nice read, makes the catch, and it is 3-0 Cherokee.
Yeah, that's a great job by Cohen there. That ball was coming right at us, and I thought it was in the gap, but Cohen covered a lot of ground, able to make that catch in left center field. So although it does get a run in and make it 3-0, boy, if he doesn't get to that ball is going to the fence. That's a bases clearing double or triple, and it's, instead of 3-0, it's 5-0. So a big play by Trevor Cohen right there.
Christian Park is singled and walked. Yeah, Cohen had to cover a lot of real estate to get there. That one off the bat.
I thought for sure it was down.
Yeah, off the bat, that looked like a gapper.
Yeah.
Trevor Cohen, of course, heading to Rutgers. Pitches upstairs.
And this isn't an easy spot for Lamontier coming in the game. He came in the game with the bases loaded. That's not an easy spot because you can't make mistakes. If you're a little wild, you're in a lot of trouble. So, he gets that out thanks to Trevor Cohen. We'll see what happens here.
Lamontier's pitch is outside. 1-1. 3-0 Cherokee here in the fifth. Lamontier from the stretch. The kick downstairs. 3-1.
Again, you want to throw strikes here. I mean, so far, the Holy Spirit defense has been pretty good today. I think throw strikes and trust the defense.
Downstairs and ball 4. So he walks, the base is loaded. Everybody moves up. Cheeseman over to third now. Petrick to second. Parks walked for the second time today. Lautaris comes up to the plate now with a chance to break this game open. This is a really big spot because you keep it here, you have a shot to kind of dig your way back into it. A base hit here, and it feels pretty deflating.
Yeah, ninth batter to come to the plate in this inning. Number 8 hitter. He's bounced to short and popped up to the mound, so 0 for 2 today. I mean, Spirits walked 4 of the 5. 4 of the 5 last Cherokee batters have walked. You got to throw strikes in this situation. And again, trust your defense. I mean, Trevor Cohen in center field has made 2 nice plays today. Gavin Cohen, his brother at shortstop, made a great double play in the early innings. Spina, third base, fielded a hard-hit ground ball. The Spirit defense has been pretty good today.
It's actually a pinch hitter here, Mike. Leo Bluestein is coming in to hit.
He's still the 9th guy to bat this inning.
True. So Bluestein here, pinch hitting in the 5th. He's a sophomore. Down and in. Tough spot to come in, but when you're coming in and out of the pen, you got to come in and throw strikes. Last night we saw Noah Myers come in and really steady that game for Mainland. And Lamontier walks home another run.
Yeah, so Spirit has walked 5 of the last 6 Cherokee hitters, and 2 of those walks have scored. So the bases are still loaded with the score now 4-0 Cherokee.
And all 4 runs have come in this inning.
Right.
As we batted around, Dylan Cruz, who struck out his first time up. In this inning, I should say. He has struck out and grounded out. Bases loaded with Chiefs here in the 5th. Swung on and missed. Dylan Cruz is the Chiefs left fielder. Top of the order, Evan Brown waits on deck. Brown singled, Schooley doubled, and that's how this thing got out of hand. Skied high into shallow center, out Lamontier, the second baseman, under it, and that will retire the side. But not before 4 runs come across for the Chiefs here in the top of the fifth. We head to the bottom of the fifth with the Spartans trailing 4-0 here on BFA Sports.
We live in a community that cares. We make sure everyone eats, everyone plays, everyone stays warm, and everyone is protected. We support our youth in organizations that teach the value of community and self-worth. We make strides against breast cancer every day. Together, in this community, we make a difference. RK Chevrolet, RK Kia, and RK Subaru, proudly serving our community since 1982.
Trevor Smith leads things off here in the bottom of the fifth for Holy Spirit. They trail 4-0. Blake Weinstein on in his fifth inning of work as Smith fouls one down the right field side. Mike Gill, Mike McGarry from the Press of Atlantic City.
It's fairly obvious to say, Mike, but Holy Spirit needs base runners right now.
Not a lot of those today.
Yeah.
They've been a premium.
They've only had two guys get on base, one via error and one via a hit batter, so...
Smith skies one towards short. Patrici under it. Makes the catch. One away.
Again, just a tremendous job by Weinstein right here. Pitching quick, throwing strikes. Just a tremendous job by him so far. And this is a big inning, right? You get a 4-0 lead. What you want to do is come back and get a shutdown inning right here. You know, this is a big inning, a key inning for him.
Swing and a miss, and Weinstein's just been working at a rapid pace as he faces Cooper here, the DH.
I said it before, there's nothing worse than a pitcher who works slow.
Swing and a miss. 2 quick strikes.
There you
And that
go.
one's over, off speed, caught him looking, and he struck him out. So the second out of the inning quickly recorded.
6 strikeout of the game for Weinstein. No walks. That's the key figure right there. We saw what happened last inning with the walks. 6 strikeouts, yeah, that's great. Just as good, maybe more impressive, is 0 walks.
I love that number. Weinstein, the left-hander, gets the call here. A senior, 5'8", 165, but has been much bigger than that today. Shutting down this Spartans lineup. Swing and a miss. Here's Luca Bruno. He fouls one off. He's hitting for Nick Rimus.
Yeah, right now, if you're Spirit, your goal is simple. You got to get somebody on base, start something, change the vibe, the atmosphere here. Get runners on base, but that's tailor-made. Bad hop.
Patrici and Bruno hustling down the line, beats that one out on Patrici, who could not field it cleanly. So Bruno hits one hard, makes something happen.
Yeah, there you go. You'd like that to happen with no outs in the inning. It happens with 2 outs, but you got to try to take advantage of it right now.
It's Mark Elliott.
You know, you
Former
put the
Mustang,
ball in
by the
play,
way.
things can happen.
Yeah, I mean, hit that hard on the ground. And by the way, hit it hard on the ground in April.
Right.
You don't know what these grasses like yet. So Bruno, a 2-out base runner. Here's Hargadon. Bruno dives back in safely. Hargadon, the freshman right fielder. Wearing number 22 in blue. Swung on and missed.
That's what you see, like Cherokee guys concerned with the guy at first base. You know, to me, just go get the hitter. It's 4-0 with 2 outs. Just go get the hitter right now.
Yeah, if you're Weinstein, you got a runner on. Who cares? Got a 4-0 lead. Fouled off the back of the screen. Yeah, this is where a throw over to first would drive me nuts. Now, he is a lefty. That changes it a little bit.
Right.
Bruno at first, Hargadon at the plate, and that one is
pitch.
over for a called strike 3 as Hargadon goes down on strikes and the Spartans go down in the 5th. No runs, 1 left on base. We head to the 6th. It's 4-0 Cherokee, BFA Sports.
That's an error, right?
I got him in as an error, yeah.
Weinstein
Hi, I'm Dr. Trina Lisko, a provider here at Premier Orthopedic Associates. I love that we get to watch these athletes play again. There is nothing better than being able to participate in an activity that you love. However, I know that COVID has us all a little less active than we would like, especially if weather conditions don't allow us to get outside and we've been restricted from the gym. Now is the time to consider some cross-training. Consider body-weighted activities, which are my favorite. Do timed interval repetitions with a little rest in between to help keep your heart rate up and activate your cardiovascular system. We can all stay healthy and active during this time. Remember to start slow and work technique before progressing to higher repetitions. Slow and steady will do the job.
Horrendous. Like routine fly balls. All right, top 6 here in Linwood, Coaches versus Cancer. It's the 10th annual as we kick off the high school baseball season with 10 games here this weekend. 2 last night, 4 today, 4 tomorrow, and Holy Spirit playing Cherokee here. It's 4-0 Chiefs over the Spartans. Mike Gill and Mike McGarry bringing in the action here on BFA Sports on the live stream.
Here comes Evan Brown again, 2 for 3, 2 stolen bases and a run scored, and started that big rally in the 5th for Cherokee with a single.
4 runs across last inning for the Chiefs. Ground ball towards third, through the hole, base hit, leadoff runner. Evan Brown again is a leadoff base runner, and he has been a pain for the Spartans today.
And I believe we got a new pitcher for Holy Spirit.
Yeah, Justin Hackett's in the game.
Hackett in the mound. Third pitcher of the day for the Spartans.
So Lamontier is out. He relieved Logic, and now Hackett is into the game. Here's Scully. Scully showing bunt again. He showed bunt last time he was up to bat. Then a stolen base by Brown. They called the bunt off, and Scully doubled off the right field fence.
Right, biggest hit of the game so far, RBI double. Gave Cherokee that 1-0 lead and kind of opened up the floodgates a little bit for Cherokee right there in the last inning.
Off-speed pitch off the plate inside.
Holy Spirit, Mike, with the division games on Monday and Tuesday, they've really got to watch guys' pitch counts and stuff like that. That's why, they're probably going to another pitcher here. They've got, 4 games in 5 days to start the season. Not easy. And division games on Monday and Tuesday, so they've got to conserve pitching arms. And here's another steal attempt.
There goes Brown's throw is late. And Brown steals the base for the 3rd time today. Yeah, Mike, and Cedar Creek's got some good pitching, too, so they're going to face some good pitching.
Yeah, and those division games, especially even though it's early in the season and it's only, day 4 and 5 of the season, you don't want to get swept in one of those division series and all of a sudden look up on Wednesday morning, check the standings out, and see 0-2 next to your name in the division standings, because you might be saying goodbye to your chances of a division title if that happens. So it's like the old adage: you can't win a pennant in September, but you can lose one. You can't win a pennant in April, but you can lose one. I mean, same goes true to high school baseball. You're not going to win anything in the first 5 days of the season, but you can lose something.
And that's playing the same team twice. When you play the same team twice and you happen to lose them twice, that really widens the gap right off the bat.
It'll be interesting to see what sort of impact that has on Cape Atlantic League teams' overall records, basically. Because it's hard to sweep a 2-game series. Are you going to see some Cape teams, if you can't throw your number 1 guy against a quality opponent every time, are you going to have 2 or 3 less wins? And what that'll translate into what your seeding is for the playoffs down the road. So I'm really anxious to see how it works out.
3-2, rip towards first, into right field. Coming around to score is Brown, cut off by Smith, and Cherokee leads it 5-0 on an RBI single from Schooley and another RBI from the left-handed swinger.
Yeah, he's had a big day. I'd love to hit behind Evan Brown, too. So not take nothing away from Schooley. He's gotten the job done and done great, but they've been a great 1-2 combination at the top of that order.
Second run scored for Brown, second RBI for Schooley. And Cherokee extends their lead as Patrici comes to the plate.
Brown gets on. Now the pitcher's thinking about him at first base. The catcher's thinking about him. He's running. Infielders are moving. Holes are created. Brown doing what a leadoff hitter is supposed to do. 3 for 4 today with 3 stolen bases and 2 runs scored. That's how you draw it up for a leadoff hitter.
No doubt. He has been a factor in this game. And here's Patrici, the number 3 hole hitter. Over to first, Hackett. Got a runner at first base over there. And coming in to run is Colin Kellner.
All right, the old courtesy runner for the catcher.
Is that something they do in high school? I didn't realize they were allowed to do that.
Yep.
There goes Kellner, standing up on the off-speed pitch. Great pitch to run on there.
The rules of high school baseball, Mike, sometimes amazing. You can do stuff. You can take guys out, put them back in. You do all sorts of wacky stuff.
Pitch is inside. Actually, that might be Henriquez running. My eyesight's not so good. It looked like 12 at first. Now it looks like 32 at second.
Don't ask me.
Pitch is outside. So Hackett into the game. He's the 3rd pitcher for the Spartans. It's now 5-0. This game was 0-0 entering the 5th.
Yeah, Cherokee, a veteran team, just kind of seemed to wear down Spirit in that 5th inning. Again, 3rd time through the order, the Cherokee lineup gets to some of Spirit's young pitchers, take advantage of some walks, and you're getting a tremendous effort from a senior in Blake Weinstein on the mound right now for Cherokee.
Ball is skied towards center. Cohen back. It is off the fence. Cohen runs into the fence. The runner comes all the way around Henrique, and he's going to score as that ball. Cohen was able to get it in quickly to hold him to a single as that ball was hit off the center field fence, and he was only able to get to first.
Yeah, the runner on second base had to hold up because, with the catches Cohen's made earlier today, and he looked like he had a good chance at that ball. He kind of he held up at second base, so the guy Patrizzi who hit the ball, had to hold up himself. So he hits the ball to the deepest part of the ballpark here at Mainland, off the bottom of the fence in dead center field, and winds up with an RBI single.
Yeah, Cohen almost ran through the fence. He actually kind of springboarded himself off the fence to pick the ball up. There goes Patrizzi, throws off the mark into center field to a stolen base. So Cherokee starting to pull away from Holy Spirit here.
6-0, right in the top of the sixth. Still nobody out, and runner on second here.
Cheeseman facing Hackett.
Same thing kind of happened to Spirit yesterday against Middle Township. They were up 9-1 in that game. Brought in some guys to pitch. Wasn't quite their day. Middle cut it to 9-6. Spirit had to bring in Van Patten to get the final out of the game. There you get an out right there.
Lamentier over to Smith. The runner advances to third.
Yeah, Cheeseman, I'm sure he would have much rather loved to have had a hit there, but he does his job, hits the ball the right side of the infield, advances the runner to third base. Now you got a runner on third with one out, up 6-0 here in the sixth inning.
Brandon Petrick. Chance for another ribby. Ball skied to right field. Hargan on giving chase, and it just bounces foul.
Yeah, that looked like it was going to straddle the line right there. Tough to tell, like in these high school ballparks where there aren't any stands down the line, if a ball is, what a ball's going to exactly do, fair or foul. But that one fell foul by a couple of feet right there.
Brandon Petrick.
Petrick struck out. No, he's fly to center, walked, and singled so far today.
Patrizzi's over at third. He singled off the fence. Advance to second. That one's over for a called strike. So Evan Brown, if you're picking a player of the game, either him or Schooley right now.
Right. Well, let's not forget about Weinstein.
That's true.
Yeah.
Back through the middle, Cohen over to first, and the freshman snaps one over and makes the play, but another run comes across for Cherokee on the ground ball to short. Patrizzi comes down to score.
It's up 7-0. It's funny to say, Mike, even though it's 7-0 in the game, and if you went, you left somebody the field today and you saw somebody and said, tell me the score of the game, and you said, oh, it's Cherokee up 7-0 in the sixth inning. It's been a competitive baseball game, and there's a lot for Spirit to be positive about. I mean, I thought the outing by the freshman Logic was, a very good outing for his varsity debut on the mound. And I'm impressed with the shortstop. Gavin Cohen, freshman at shortstop, has made a couple of nice plays here. So even though if you went to somebody and said, hey, it's 7-0, they would think it wasn't much of a game. It's been a competitive game and a lot for Spirit to feel good about and to build on going forward.
Brandon Prince steps in for Cherokee. Hackett's pitch over for a called strike. And he hit him. So a two-out base runner, and that's going to bring up Christian Park.
And this is baseball, too, when you're in this situation, right, Mike? I mean, nobody's going to end the game for you. You can't call timeout. You got to get the outs to get off the field, basically,
Yeah, and it seems like sometimes when things start to snowball,
right,
figuring out where you're going to get that out becomes challenging. That one's over for a called strike. I can tell you for game number 2, I'll be sitting in your chair.
Oh, there you go.
game number 2 for me,
My-
game number
my-
3 on the schedule.
My chair's in the sun, so
Exactly.
you'll be a little bit warmer than you are right now. So there
Exactly.
you go.
Swung on and missed. Christian Park has walked twice and singled. That one's outside.
That's going to be an outstanding game. Second game, Eustis and Jackson Memorial. Jackson Memorial with the kid pitching who's going to Auburn. So, top level chance to see SEC type talent here at Coaches versus Cancer.
Yeah, playing at Auburn, that's no joke.
No.
You have arrived.
Yeah.
And depending on who Ocean City throws in their game tomorrow, I mean, you get Finnegan, he's going to St. John's. You get McCarron, he's going to Maryland.
Yeah. I would imagine, though, again, we talked about Ocean City's got Mainland on Monday and Tuesday. I would suspect that those two guys are being saved for that situation.
Another hit batsman there. So the last 2 hitters now have been hit by a pitch. Now, I pride myself on keeping a pretty stellar book here.
Yeah, I'm
but
starting to drift.
Last inning, we batted around.
Right,
And
right.
I, of course, did the dreadful where I am in the same inning
Yeah.
as the last one, but I didn't think they might bat around again. As that ball's hit towards Doug. Cohen can't make the grab, and the ball bounces over the fence.
Tremendous job by Cohen there, almost to come up with it. Ends up being a ground rule double. He makes the dive, and just out of the reach of his glove right there. You see it here. He goes for the dive. Boom! The slides into the fence. Just a tremendous effort by Trevor Cohen right there.
I had to call it that way because Doug wasn't looking, and that ball was coming towards him. So when I said it's coming towards Doug, I actually meant left center field, but Doug Stasic was standing there working on the camera, and his back was to that ball, although I probably would have took some pleasure into seeing that ball hit him. Outstanding effort by Cohen, unable to get there.
One more run in, I believe.
Yes.
So what's it now, 8-0?
Yeah, one across. Prince scores. Park on the ground rule double. He's at third.
Right.
Bluestein, I think, was the guy who hit that. Yeah, he pinch hit and has stayed in the game.
Right, number 31 for
Correct.
Cherokee.
And this should be Cruz.
So 8-0 with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th.
Cruz, by the way, made 2 outs in the last inning. He made the first out and the third out of the last inning, and he has now made the third out of this inning as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning with our score Cherokee 8, Holy Spirit nothing, BFA Sports.
It's a perfect day for baseball and the perfect time to call our friends at Perfect Turf to get your yard in championship season form. That's right, Josh Walters and his team, the official landscapers of BFA Sports, are waiting for your call to tell you all about their spring mulch specials. So don't run out, grab those bags, grab the phone, call Josh and his team. They'll swing for the fences and make your yard look like the MVP.
All right, we're back here in the 6 as you see the new RK Chevy wrapped hauler, BFA Sports, Mike Gill and Mike McGarry, as we're calling the Holy Spirit Cherokee game. Eddie Wisham leading things off here, by the way. And so far, it's been a great tournament, great afternoon. We got some good baseball coming up later.
Yeah, Auburn Jackson Memorial with a kid going to Auburn on the mound against Bishop Eustis, and then Holy Spirit and Springford, PA, coming up next. And then, of course, tomorrow, the big St. Augustine Gloucester Catholic.
So Wisham leads things off. He is hitting for Holy Spirit. And Wisham's another one of the freshmen.
And you got Blake Weinstein right now, who has not allowed a hit through the first 5 innings. A left-hander who, I just looked up his stats on NJ.com, only threw about 7 or 8 innings last year. And
Wisham goes down on strikes, by the way.
That's his 7th strikeout of the game.
By the way, the crowd is beginning to fill in here. All of a sudden, you look around, you see a lot of people filling up that sideline here.
Right.
In anticipation of Eustis. That ball fly to center.
2 down. And what we said about Weinstein right here has been true from the start. He has worked fast. He has pounded the strike zone. Just a tremendous performance by him so far today. 5 2/3 innings right now without a hit allowed.
So Cohen flies to center, and here's Trevor Cohen. Rips one through the hole.
And there it goes.
And just when you said it, see that, Minnick?
I didn't say the word no-hitter. I said without a hitter allowed. But if you want to say I whammied him, go ahead.
There's the first hit of the game for Holy Spirit as Trevor Cohen singles through the left side of the infield, and that'll bring up Ryan Spina.
You got to give Weinstein just to salute him on that 5 2/3 of hitless ball, an outstanding performance.
Now that pickoff attempt, I cannot.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Yeah, it's 7-0. Let's just go get the guy at the plate and get ready for Villanova, Kansas at 6:08.
And Spina rips one into center field for a base hit. Over to second goes Cohen.
Yeah, you see Spirit back-to-back base hits, down 7-0. They're just, no one's going to try to do anything crazy on the base paths. You're just going to go station to station.
8-0.
Or down 8-0. Yeah, right.
Tyler Gross steps in, the left-handed hitting catcher. Seeing if Holy Spirit can push one across here. So Weinstein's no-no was broken up with back-to-back singles. That pitch is inside. Actually, it might have hit Gross.
Yeah, he looks like he's taking off the foot pad there, so he's headed down to first base, and all of a sudden you look up, and with 1 out here,
bases are loaded.
Spartans have the bases loaded.
Last night it was very similar, where that game never felt like Mainland was in it until they won the game.
Right. Yeah, last night Mainland comes back and beats Clearview. What was it, 9-8 on Christian Elliott gets the walk-off single. And in a game where Mainland trailed 5-0, I think they were down 8-3, and then down 8-5 entering the 7th inning, basically. Of course, Mainland has a history. Last year at this Coaches versus Cancer, they made a similar comeback against these Cherokee Chiefs.
Yeah, that was that game in Summers Point where Joe Sheeran doubled off the wall.
And, of course, Cherokee got their revenge 3 or 4 weeks later when they came down here and beat Mainland 4-1 in the Diamond Classic quarterfinals. So Cherokee had the last laugh. I'd rather win the Diamond Classic quarterfinal game than the Coaches versus Cancer Classic game.
So Blake Weinstein staying in here, but bases loaded. 2 outs. Here in the 6th, Wisham struck out, Cohen flew out, and then 3 straight base runners. Here's Trevor Smith. Smith hits one to right field, down the line, coming in, and he could not come up with it. 1 run's going to score. Coming around third to score is Spina, and we have a 8-2 game on an RBI single by Trevor Smith.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen right here. Top of the order for Spirit, able to put the ball in place, something they weren't able to do earlier in the game. And again, Mike, you come back to that again. Maybe Gabe Kapler knows what he's talking about. Third time through the order for Holy Spirit, just like Cherokee got to the Spirit pitchers the third time through the order. Here you go, Spirit's third time seeing Weinstein. They're able to put the ball in play and put together a couple of hits in a row right here.
He is the National League Manager of the Year.
There you go.
Cooper to the plate. Smith at second.
2-run double for Smith there.
Over to third is Tyler Gross, actually the runner. I can't see who's running for Gross. That ball is sprayed into right, and Petrick makes the grab, and it's the third out of the inning. But the Spartans do answer with 2 as we head to the 7th. Cherokee 8, Holy Spirit 2, BFA Sports.
We live in a community that cares. We make sure everyone eats, everyone plays, everyone stays warm, and everyone is protected. We support our youth in organizations that teach the value of community and self-worth. We make strides against breast cancer every day. Together, in this community, we make a difference. RK Chevrolet, RK Kia, and RK Subaru, proudly serving our community since 1982.
All right, 7th inning here in Linwood. Coaches versus Cancers. Mainland as the host. Holy Spirit and Cherokee are the two teams playing today in game number 2. Atlantic City was a winner in game 1. Kind of a fun, exciting game.
They beat Bridgeton. That's another traditional sort of coaches versus cancer game. We get that first game Saturday morning, Atlantic City, Bridgeton. Atlantic City bouncing back from Pleasantville yesterday, beat the Vikings to open up their season. Nice performance by Pleasantville senior Joe Gutierrez with 12 strikeouts in 5 innings, leading the Greyhounds to the win in that game.
New pitcher for Holy Spirit is Connor Lamenter.
4th pitcher of the game for the Spartans. Again, not unexpected once they fell behind with big conference games on Monday and Tuesday. You got to save some arms, because you're putting the emphasis on those division games.
Peyton Petrosh takes over at second base for the Spartans. And Evan Brown, who has been a nightmare for the Spartans today, grounds towards short. Cohen tries the backhand, and it's off the heel of his glove, and Brown is on base again.
Brown on base for the 4th time in his 5 at-bats. That time he gets on an error, but don't think that, Gavin Cohen there is thinking that, hey, Brown is fast. I got to come up. I got to make a play. I can't, I got to get to this ball in a hurry. So, like you said, Brown, 3 for 5, 3 stolen bases, 2 runs scored. A great job today by him. Going to Navy, he's certainly lived up to his hype today.
Here's Schooley. He's had a bunch of big hits today. He doubled off the fence to drive in Brown. He singled to drive in Brown. He's walked, so he's been on base 3 times.
Yeah, the top of these first 2 guys have done a great job for the Cherokee lineup so far.
Lementer's pitch. There goes Brown. Throw from Gross is late.
Stolen base number 4.
Correct. 4 stolen bases for Evan Brown. 2 runs, 4 steals. There's a leadoff man for you. It's like a Ricky Henderson type of day back in 1979.
Yeah, impressed by Cherokee today. They won 15 games last year. Like we said, went to the Diamond Classic semifinals. I believe they were eliminated in the South Jersey Group 4 quarterfinals. Group 4, one of the toughest brackets around. Every team you meet from, even the first round on is usually a quality team in that group. But this team has got some veterans back with Brown and Cheeseman and Petrazi, who hit a home run yesterday for them in their win over Seneca. So, this is a good Cherokee baseball team here.
Here's the pitch outside.
And at the same time, as we mentioned before, even though it's 8-2 right now, a lot of positives for Spirit to take out of this game, a young Spirit team.
Lementer's pitch, foul down the left field side. (8-2) our score in the 7th. Spartans will get last licks.
The wind is picking up.
Sure is. I'm doing my best to try to keep my jacket off, but that one off the plate. A little off-speed pitch by Lementer. Game 3 of the day is coming up next here on BFA Sports. Jackson and Eustis. They are waiting patiently their turn. Ball grounded towards first. Smith up on it. He'll take it himself. Tags the bag, and we've got Schooley out for the first time in a while.
That Jackson-Eustis games, those are the type of games you like to see at these showcases, because you got 2 teams that normally aren't going to play each other. You got a public school in Jackson, you got Eustis, a parochial school, so they're not going to see each other in the state tournament. Eustis is a traditional South Jersey team. Jackson's from Ocean County in the Shore Conference. Those are the types of games you like to see in these conferences, where you can really see, a team from another region that you're not going to see on a daily, on an everyday basis. Those are the type of games you like to see. Even this game, you got a parochial school in Holy Spirit and a Group 4 public school in Cherokee. These are 2 teams that they're not going to meet. They're not in the same league. Unless they face each other in a Diamond Classic, they're not going to meet either.
Treasy rips one to Cohen, who dives and makes the stab at short. He fires over to Spina at third, but Brown was able to get back in there. Nice play by Cohen.
Yeah, that's one of several nice plays that Gavin Cohen has made today at shortstop. Let's not forget that double play he made back in the 3rd inning by himself, stopping that ground ball over second base. That's what I'm talking about when you say that Spirit, even though they're on the short end of the score right now, they've got a lot of positives to take out of this game, and Gavin Cohen right there, his play at shortstop today has been one of them.
Here's Cheeseman. He's walked twice, grounded out, and popped up. Lementer pitches down and away. Runner at third is Brown. Reached on an error. 8-2, Cherokee. This is Connor Lementer. He started at second. Ball swung on and foul tipped. Dulce beat Cherry Hill East last night. Mainland beat Clearview in the first 2 games. Atlantic City beat Bridgeton earlier this morning. And this is game number 4 of the Coaches versus Cancer Classic. The pitch is downstairs.
You know, it's interesting, Mike, you talk about the Logic kid starting as a freshman for Holy Spirit today, and Gavin Cohen playing freshman at shortstop there. They're guys that 2-3 years from now, they're going to seem like they were in high school for 50 years, basically, because we're going to see them every game now.
Funny you say that, because as that ball's hit towards first, out foul, because Trevor Cohen, he's playing center here, and you're thinking, my God, I feel like he's been here for 10 years.
Right, exactly. Back when, Phil Ford was the point guard for North Carolina in the 1970s, seemed to be there for about 15 years. Kevin Minnick stunned by my Phil Ford reference.
I literally, but you think to yourself, like, at what point does a high school kid leave early?
Yeah.
Because he's been there for so long.
Right.
As we talked about earlier, Mike, these kids are playing as freshmen, and by the time they're seniors, it's almost like, okay, I'm ready for the next phase of my life.
Exactly.
You know, like Trevor Cohen almost looks like out of place on this team with all these freshmen. He's playing with his younger brothers, who's half his size. And that one is up and away. You think about Bernie Hargadon is 14 years old. He's a freshman playing next to a kid who's, been here for 4 years now.
Yeah.
Lamenter kicks, delivers, swung on, ripped up the middle, base hit. Another run comes home for Cherokee.
And Brown scores his 3rd run of the game. He's had quite, offensively, there's no doubt he's the player of the game offensively. Probably, a choice between him and Weinstein for what the Cherokee pitcher has done. But Brown's just had a great day offensively with, 3 for 5, 3 runs scored, 4 stolen bases. Leadoff hitter can't do any better than that.
And here's Petrick. Next we have a hitter. Colin Kelleher is the hitter.
That's weird. All of a sudden, the wind just stopped.
It's like a no-hitter, Mike. You don't mention it.
Well, I'm leaving in 4 more outs, so,
Kelleher pinch hitting here for Petrick, the right fielder.
So if things stay as they will right now, Cherokee will be off to a 2-0 start with their win over Seneca yesterday, 9-2. And, Holy Spirit will even up their record at 1-1 going into the division series against Cedar Creek on Monday and Tuesday.
Skied high to center. Cohen under it. Makes the grab, and that'll end the inning. Another run comes across for Cherokee. They lead it 9-2. Last licks here for the Spartans as we head to the bottom of the 7th on BFA Sports.
Hi, I'm Dr. Trina Lisko, a provider here at Premier Orthopedic Associates. I love that we get to watch these athletes play again. There is nothing better than being able to participate in an activity that you love. However, I know that COVID has us all a little less active than we would like, especially if weather conditions don't allow us to get outside and we've been restricted from the gym. Now is the time to consider some cross-training. Consider body-weighted activities, which are my favorite. Do timed interval repetitions with a little rest in between to help keep your heart rate up and activate your cardiovascular system. We can all stay healthy and active during this time. Remember to start slow and work technique before progressing to higher repetitions. Slow and steady will do the job.
All right, new pitcher for Cherokee, Brent Gable, a freshman, a left-hander. We talk about these freshmen. Here's another one.
Absolutely, and you got to salute Blake Weinstein, 6-inning job that he did. Didn't allow a hit for 5 2/3 or 5 1/3 innings. Just a great job by him. We love the way he pitched, pounded the strike zone, worked quickly, everything a pitcher wanted to do. So hats off to Blake Weinstein, tip of the cap there for his effort today.
Luca Bruno leads things off. He reached base on an error his first time up. He pinch hit back in the 5th. So it'll be Bruno Hargadon, and we'll see who hits in that 9 spot. Bruno skies one down the right field side, foul. Bishop Eustace Jackson Memorial on deck. That'll be the 3rd game. There's actually a 4th game, Springford, PA, and Ocean City. The Red Raiders, who are generally loaded with pitching year after year, that's no different this year.
Yeah. Tom Finnegan headed to St. John's. Duke McCarran headed to Maryland. Last year they had 4 Division I guys, but Matt Noonan and Gannon Brady have graduated. Of course, Ocean City, the defending state Group 3 champions. They'll open their season with Springford later today, and then they'll host Mainland Regional on Monday and then play at Mainland back here on Tuesday as they start their Cape Atlantic League division schedule. No easing into the season for a lot of these teams.
No, and Mainland had the benefit of playing Friday night,
right.
And they have Ocean City playing today. So Mainland, who threw Will Hoover last night and followed him up with Noah Myers, they got an extra day to rest their pitching. As that one is swung on and missed by Bruno, he goes down on strikes. That'll bring up Bernie Hargadon. Bernie Hargadon, freshman, has struck out and popped up. Swing and a miss.
It is, when you actually look at it, it's really unbelievably how young Spirit actually is. Talented team, but they're, like you said, it seems like every time you say a player's name, you put the word freshman in front of it.
Yeah, and even though, when you have a talented group of guys, it is hard to win at this level with that many young players.
And you're facing a team with an experienced team with a lot of seniors on it. So I don't care how talented you are as a 14, 15-year-old.
Yeah.
There's a certain difference there when you're facing a 17, 18, in some cases 19-year-old, basically. So there's a difference there. So, again, we said it before, a lot for Spirit to take out of this game. Cherokee, to me, the very good baseball team and definitely a South Jersey Group 4 contender with a lot of guys out there that can make things happen. Chief among them, Evan Brown.
Gable's pitch. Hargadon skies one to center. Short center. Second baseman comes out on, calls him off. And Brown makes the play, and Hargadon is retired.
And Spartans down to their final out here.
2 away. So we'll see who hits in this spot. Wisham hit in this spot last time. Swing and a miss. So Lamenter, who's pitching, is now back in that 9 hole. Fouled one down the third base side. Gable's pitch outside. The 1-1 inside. Cherokee trying to close this one out. Down to the final out for the Spartans. they can get on here, they'll bring up the top of their order. Swung on. Did he foul it? Nope. Swung and a miss.
That's it.
And he struck him out. So Gable picks up the strikeout of Lamenter. And the Cherokee Chiefs improved to 2-0 with a win. 9-2 over Holy Spirit, who the Spartans fall to 1-1 here at the Coaches versus Cancer Classic. We got a win for Cherokee. Holy Spirit, a young team, obviously. They fought hard. This game was 0-0 for a while.
Right. Like I said before, if you told some friends that gave them the score after the game, they think it was a lopsided contest. Very competitive game for first 4 or 5 innings. Cherokee able to break it open. Heard a lot about Evan Brown coming into it. The Cherokee leadoff hitter lived up to that today, and Blake Weinstein with a terrific effort on the mound for Cherokee also.
So 9-2 is our final here as Cherokee beats Holy Spirit in game number 3 of the Coaches versus Cancer Classic on this Saturday. We'll move to, game number 2. We'll move to game number 3 coming up in just a little bit. That will be Bishop Eustis taking on Jackson Memorial. And as you said, we're going to see pretty good pitching in this game.
It should be an interesting matchup. The kid from Jackson Memorial going to Auburn, so a chance to see Division I talent, and again, a chance to see 2 schools that you don't normally see. One from Ocean County, one from South Jersey face. This is what these showcases are all about.
All right, Mike McGarry from the Press of Atlantic City. Appreciate you joining me for this one. Al Fisher, will join me for game number 3. We'll have that for you coming up next here on BFA Sports.